Oh, hi. Hi, my name is Doug Trin. This is my 2009 Audi R8 gated manual, and this is a 2010 Porsche Cayman S, second gen Cayman S. And I'm a team president of Team IC. And my YouTube channel is Ducky_Garage. So what got me into a car back then is my older brother. So when I was 5, 6, my brother used to have a yellow Honda Accord. You know, back then when hot in Purnell was, really, hot, and like it's a thing back then. Big nice car show, underglow and everything. So he have a 94 Honda Accord, I believe, sedan, yellow, PlayStation, TV, and man, this thing is decked out. I love it. So every night he worked in his car, like installing sound stuff, TV and stuff, and I'm there hanging out with him, and helping him, passing tools and stuff like that. From that, what got me into a car, and now I'm building my seventh project right now. Yeah. So one of my favorite build is my Honda S2000. So let's go back a couple years before that build. So I bought my first Honda S2000. It's an AP1, and I built it. I put it a lot of spoon part, Workmeister wheel and everything. And I used to that time I was living downtown, so parking is very limited. So I parked at my first S2000 in my parent garage. After a car meet, we went to a car meet, and for the following week, I got my car stolen from my parent garage. That's my first AP1. After it got stolen, I was, talking to my wife back and forth, like, I want an NSX. It's one of my dream car in high school. Like, babe, I want an NSX. She's like, no, you should get another S2000 and finish where you left off. So this car got stolen, and we recover it. But we recover it, and all the aftermarket part is gone, and the car has been chopped up. So what they try to do is they take all the aftermarket part, they sell it or whatever, salvage it or whatever, and they cut up the car to sell scrap metal to make more money out of the car, to get rid of it. So we went to the insurance car lot. I was in tears. My car was like in multiple pieces, everything chopped off, all the aftermarket part is gone. I was in tears, and she was like, you know what, babe, you should get another S2000 and finish where you left off. So when I was looking at that time, I'm still insist of getting NSX. I was looking at NSX, a day and night look at NSX and stuff. She's like, no, babe, you should really get another S2000, like finish where you left off. So I listen to my wife, let's get another S2000. So I ended up getting an AP2 the following year and building it. And I blow the motor. I literally drive for 3-4 months. I blew the motor, and I'm like, man, what should I do now? You told me to get an S2000. I listened to you get an S2000. I blew the motor, not the car's, out of commission. I was, very sad and bummed out. I got my car stolen, the year before that. Now I'm getting my second S2000. Now the motor's blown, so I'm out of commission again. So it's a bad 2 years for me and stuff. And so I talked to I bring my car to El Garage that time, and they're like, let's do a swap. And I'm like, what swap? So I was like, that time I'm like, let's do a LS swap with S2000. That'd be pretty cool. And he was like, that is cool, but now you think about, you want to put a big V8 into a S2000 that, the cars pretty much weight, 50-50 weight balance. Now you throw a big V8 in there, you kind of throw off the weight and everything. So like, how about we do a K-swap? That time, K-swap is not that hot. Now this day, everybody K-swap everything. So I was like, K-swap, like, interesting. A Honda motor and another Honda, so it kind of makes sense. And K-swap that back then, they don't make a kit for that S2000. So all of the stuff that we do is one-off, and we have to fabricate everything, and we work with Clutchmaster to do the adapter plate for the K-swap to match with the F20. So K motor on the CRV is a horizontal mount. We turn it vertical to make it rear-wheel drive and do a custom adapter plate for it. What we did is called a Frankenstein Swap. So the head is from the RSX Type S, and the bottom block is from the CRV. So the power band is really good because RSX Type head is for top end power, and the CRV block is a 2.4, so you have more torque. So our engine, we have a low range and high range power. So after we did the swap, I was not impressed with the power yet. So I'm like, I need more power. I want to have at least around 500 horsepower. Like, let's boost it now. So we take the engine apart. We built a fully built engine, piston, rod, cam, like everything is modified. Nothing left untouched. And the block is fully machine out. I forgot what shop did it, all blueprint and everything, and guaranteed that block guarantee up to 1,000 horsepower. And I was at that time, I want to tune an E80, 93 pump gas to be reliable, because I drove for all my car, all the car that I built, I drove it. I enjoy it, it's not a show car that, So we drove, after we built that car, we drove it to to Atlanta. We drove it to Minnesota. No problem, no overheating problem. Because it's a common problem with S1000. A lot of people do the swap and have overheat problem issue and stuff like that. And this car is reliable from day one. I have no problem with it. We made 501 wheel horsepower to the wheel and low boost, 17 pound boost. After we built that car, we went to the first car show in Tuna Gallery. Tuna Gallery is one of the big shows that kind of start the car season. So we went in 2013. That's when we finished that build. We bring to Tuna Gallery and Sam from Super Street, he was there. He's one of the chief editor from Super Street. He was there and he saw our car and he's very interested in the car. Like, oh wow, you know, like this is not original F motor in this Honda S1000. It's a K motor. So he tried to find the owner of the car, you know me, and so he asked around and he talked to Ganesh. Ganesh is one of the chief editor and the founder of JDM Chicago, and he emailed me like, hey Doug, Super Street are interested in featuring your car in the magazine. So I was very blessed because the year that I got featured in the magazine, the following year they stopped making a print feature. Now it's only online feature, no more print features. So I'm one of the last one. Should I go get the magazine though?
Yeah.
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 One of the reasons why they want to feature the car is we're like the third one in the country to do the K-swap in S1000 because no one did it. So that's another S1000 that did the K-swap. Is a drift car, and one is the show car. Our car is the first boost swap, Frankenstein Swap boost S1000 that street driven and a show car. So you have to be reliable, gotta look good. Because you know, like a lot of drift cars, you know, like they don't really care as long as they drift around. They don't have to look good, whatever. So they just throw the swap and then call it a day. Our car, you know, we gotta make it look nice and it's reliable for daily drifting, daily driving and everything. I thought it was a joke for a minute, like, dude, my car's getting featured like in the magazine? Like, no way, because when I built that car, that was not the purpose. Like, I never thought about getting my car featured in a magazine or whatever. I just built because, remember, I told you the story how my wife told me, you know, babe, get another S1000, pick up where you left off, because my first car got stolen. So we do that, and you know, people hear our story. The story is, you know, is very, you know, emotional, touching. You know how we came to the lot and, you know, check our car and stuff. But that's one thing, and the second thing is K-swap. You know, that time K-swap is not the thing back then. You know, like no one really do K-swap, Miata, K-swap, and Ferrari, K-swap, and Porsche. It's not the thing back then. Now it's like everybody's talking about K-swap because those motors are reliable and they can make over 1,000 horsepower, and it's cheap to build 1,000 horsepower K-swap. So at that time I have a lot of heat. So when my car got featured, I have a lot of heat. Everybody's, you know, so much, you know, hate email, message like, why you do that? The F motor and the S1000, you know, Force internal is really good. Why would you put a K motor from RSX in your car? You know, like a lot of hate comment, and you know, it's sad. It's very discouraging. And like, but you know, from now when I look back on the comment and on the Super Street, even now, if you go on the Super Street website, the car is still featured on the thing. I read all the comment now, like the new comment from the past couple of years. Everybody, oh wow, this swap is sick, this swap is cool. But back then in 2012 when I did it, it was so much like, you know, like people's hate, a lot of hate comment, like 90% of all the comment is like, oh, why you do this? This guy is stupid, this guy is ridiculous, you know, blah, blah. But now it's a hot thing, you know, K-swap the world, babe. So my first car was a 1989 Honda Civic EF hatch. So in high school, in my freshman year, sophomore year, I saved up bus fare and lunch money to gather around $400 by my senior year, and purchased my first Honda Civic 1989 Honda Civic EF myself. Purchased for $400 from one of my buddies. And that time, my parents didn't know about it. I parked the car 2 blocks away, you know, good 2 months until they find out about it. They made me return the car to my friend. So I feel bad, you know, like I purchased it for a friend and I gotta return it. Pretty much, you know, like, you know, just give me $200 back, you can keep the other $200, you know, like as I love, you know, pretty much you loaned me the car for 2 months, you know. So my first modification I ever did to any car was the LED nozzle, the windshield wiper nozzle, you know, the one that shoot, you know, flew into the windshield, and you have this light, you know, like change color. That was so rice. Oh my god, so rice. But that's one of my first mod. So who would I like to thank? I would want to thank my wife for always being a very supportive wife throughout all my build and my journey, especially that time She helped me make a lot of decisions from the color of the wheel. The Workmeister, we built a 3-piece Workmeister. She helped me pick the color and even the engine bay. And also I want to thank my dad. So he's a really, big motor, giving me a lot of motivation back then. Every time I go to car show, he actually go with me to either travel to out of state show just to support me in my my car and my building stuff. I remember, when I did my second show in Minnesota. We won an award. My dad came up on the stage, gave me a big hug, kissed me on the forehead, and I feel very embarrassed. How it is. We're young, we feel embarrassed and everything, right? So recent year, my dad passed away, and I think about it now. I really miss him, and I don't have the same motivation I have when he's around, because every time I win an award, I bring it home like, Dad, I won an award, and you're like, good job. But we always got to be better. You got to improve yourself. Change something in your car every year. You got to change something you can. Just stop from there. And to this day, even in my garage, I have his picture hanging right here, because every time I work my car, I wanna think about him, because giving me the motivation. Because after when my dad passed away 3 years ago, I kind of like that year kind of stall and building car or whatever, kind of lost interest in it, because back then I do it because I want to impress my dad. Yeah, when he's around, I do it kind of like for myself, but at the same time I try to do for him, try to make him proud of me for what I do and everything. And now it's not the same anymore, but still always look at his pictures like a motivation for me. Whatever I do in this garage, when especially a hard time working on the car and I'm struggling and kind of try to throw the wrench or throw a towel, I look at him and I can hear and say, look, you got this, you can do it, and still, got that motivation just for looking at his picture. Very sweet guy, very friendly. I think a lot of our friends in the car scene know my dad back then, because I used to host car show back then. Before everybody hosts those small side show and I host car show, and my dad always, out there supporting me. That's why a lot of the guys know my dad through the car show that we host back then. And my YouTube channel is Ducky Anigara. Oh my God! So I'm really sorry. Oh my God! I think the word is bad. We're having some distraction, right? Yes. Let me. You remember that? You remember those, right? Yeah. You remember those? Oh my God, man! Please subscribe, follow.